Okay, you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
The ஸ்லோகத்தை படிச்சிருங்க முதல்ல, இந்த எட்டாவது ஸ்லோகம்.
ஸ்லோகமா?
ஏன்னா அது ஒரு தடவை படிச்சாதான் நம்ம எட்டுல இருக்கோம்னு தெரியும்.
ஏகார்த்த பிரத்யவிஜ்ஞா பவதி திருடதரா தர்சன ஸ்பர்ஷனாபியாம் சங்காதாதேஹே அயோகாத் அவகமயதி சா வஸ்து ரூபாதிதோன்யத். ஏகஸ்மின் தூரதாதேஹே அவிஷத விஷத பிரத்யபிஜ்ஞாதி தத்வத் நைகத்வே பி அக்ஷபேதாத் விதுரமிவ மிதஸ் சம்சயாதி பிரசங்காத். So there is a lot of logic hidden in this particular shloka. We'll take one step at a time, and Sarvankasha goes pretty deep into it to one extent. Okay, here ekartha pratyabhijna iti darshana sparshanaabhyam. So the this one can be explained in a slightly better way if we just look at, hold on a second. Oops. Okay, you can see my screen here, I think. Ekartha pratyabhijna means drishtameva sprashami. We say like that. That means whatever I see, I'm touching it. Suppose I see this pot. I go near the pot and touch the pot. And so yes, I'm actually touching the pot which I see through my eyes. This is a very common common experience. Ekartha pratyabhijna darshana sparshanabhyam chakshurindriyatva tvagindriyatvabhyam dradhatara. So using our sense, two senses. One is the sense of the eye, sense of sight, and sense of touch. Dridhatara apalapitura. So the cognition and the experience of an object separate from its attributes like color, form, or anything like that is clear. Ekartha pratyabhijna, ekapadartha vishayini pratyabhijna. So the color, the size, shape are all attributes of the same object which is different from the color, from the attributes. That is very clear in our experience. Dridhatara, all these are explained in the next paragraph anyway. Ekartha vishayani pratyabhijna bhavati sarvesham. Pratyabhijna is just cognition in simple terms. In Sanskrit it might have a little bit different connotation, but we'll just say cognition just to make it easy. Sa pratyabhijna sanghatadehe samudaya bhavadehe tanmate ayogat. In the other system, that is the Buddhist system, Yogacara and the Sautrantika schools, these don't mix together. That is this seeing, that is the eyesight, sense of seeing, and sense of touch don't mix together. Asambhavat vastu ghatati dravyam rupaditaha gunebhyaha anyat. So the object is different. Say ghatha or the pot is different from the rupa, the color, touch, etc. Anyat bhinnam avagamayati prakatayati. The object definitely feels different. We understand object as different from the attributes. This is a very important view in Vishishtadvaita. Why? Jiva and Jada, the whole universe, is the attribute of Parabrahman. And they are different from Parabrahman in terms of guna, rupa, in terms of attributes. Jiva has its own attributes, Jada has its own attributes. So but do they accept objects? A question. You mean, do they means the Yogacara and no, why don't you not chat? Please talk about it. You can unmute and talk and ask. It's very easy. This is a discussion. So why don't you please, what is your question?
Sorry, again, last week we thought they don't accept dravya.
So they only accept adravyam. So do they accept objects?
Object na dravya vechikkalame po.
Okay.
Okay. So the thing is, what they're saying is, what do you call? Actually, you brought a very good point. That is why I wanted to see. Always, I'd like, if I had time, I would have done a lot more research. I could not do a lot of research today. What they say, let us try to quickly look at it. Hold on a second, because that way our okay, I noted down that stuff somewhere. Hold on a second. Here it is. Oops, that's not the one. That's not the one. Here, okay, in this frame. See, you have to understand that the Buddhists are not like a push-away kind of people. They have done phenomenal work in terms of their viewpoint, and they have written logical works and all. In this is the work of Asanga, Vasubandhu, and all. They're great writers of Buddhism. Asanga's classic Yogacara work, the Mahayana Samgraha, because the Sanskrit work is not available, they are translated from the Tibetan work. These representations, Vidyapti, are mere representations. Vidyapti matra, because there is no corresponding thing, object, or artha. Just as in a dream, there appear, even without a thing, object, just in the mind alone, forms, images of all kinds of things, objects like the visibles, sounds, smells, tastes, tangibles, houses, forests, land, and mountains, and yet there are no such things, objects at all in that place. This is the Mahayana. So you get the meaning. What it means is, for the Mahayana, for the Yogacara and the Sautrantika schools, which are similar in a way, for Yogacara is Vidyapti Matra, and it is also known as the Vijnanavada school of Buddhism. For them, this universe is a projection of our own mind. So the objects don't exist of themselves, but you always have the touch, feel, experience of cold, hot, experience of pleasure, pain. All these things are there, but the real objects outside are not there. Everything is in your mind. The mind is projecting all these things. It's illusion. This is a sort of, if you think about it, some of these were taken by the extreme form of Advaita. Advaita took it differently. We will come to that Advaita much later. But the thing is, this became some portion of the Advaitic school. This became the portion of the Mahayana school later on in Buddhism, and some portion of it, they say Mahayana is Advaita minus Atman and Jivatma. That is Mahayana. So we'll come to that later. The idea is the objects are nothing but their attributes which we experience, known as the phenomena. Phenomena is experience, and that experience is created out of mind itself because of the vasanas or whatever. But really speaking, the external objects don't exist. Is that clear?
Yes, very clear. They think it's an illusion. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole world is an illusion,
Yeah.
but it is created by your own mind or all of our minds.
Yeah, clear. Thank you.
Okay. Ayam bhavaha deepadyaloke gatadikam chakshusha pashyatam. That is what Sri Vedanta Deshikar is rejecting here. Okay. Don't tell me that external objects don't exist. They have to exist. And we'll tell you why.
I have a question. In that view that it is, I'm Srini Rajagopalan, in that view of Yogacara, that means there is a collective illusion, right?
Yes.
The world is a collective illusion of all the people.
Yes. So there is something known as collective illusion, and there's also known as personal illusion, right? Suppose I am alone and I'm looking at it. Nobody is experiencing what I am experiencing, but I have an experience of it. Then that is a creation of my own mind.
Right.
And if everybody is watching a movie in a movie hall, everybody has the same illusion, and that is a collective illusion.
So for them, the reality is socially constructed, or the collective reality.
Yeah, it is socially constructed, and also collective illusion. See, the collective illusion is also an illusion which is an extension of the mind. See, you got to understand whether. See, this is a common problem even in Advaita, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, Advaita, there are different forms of Advaita. Okay, that which depends on a conventional reality, Vyavaharika Satya, and though in the Vyavaharika Satya portion becomes exactly identical to other schools of thought like Vishishtadvaita, Advaita, and all.
Mm-hmm.
But the Paramarthika Satya is only Atman, and everything else is illusory at one point, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is common to whether it is Advaita or Buddhism. That is, the external universe can have collective reality or a social reality as well as individual reality. They are all projected. It could be Mula Vidya and Kula Vidya. This could be related to, in Advaita, to concepts called as Mula Vidya, which causes this global universal illusion. And Kula Vidya could be actually the individual avidya, or the avidya which is affecting the individual. So there's some complex post Shankaracharya concepts which have evolved in the Advaita, in different schools of Advaita, and they've also disagreed with each other. Where does the illusion stay, whether in Brahman or Jiva? All those things occur. So, but there is some commonality, some seeds of commonality between Buddhism and Advaita. And at the end of the day, when everything is unreal and only Nirguna Brahman is real for Advaita, they have to accept that everything is projected only, right? The seer is also projected. What you think that you are the I pratyaya is also illusory.
The problem with that, I mean, my opinion, this is not, I'm not read anything. The problem with that view is when you see, for example, a chair, it's a collective illusion that chair exists. Okay, so it's called a chair so it's socially constructed because it's cut for like whatever it is, made of wood or steel or whatever it is.
They are not denying that, are they? It's a relative reality. They accept that as real. In Advaita, it's relative reality. But in the Vijnapti school, school, we will later on come here in the next few sentences. They are Jagat Satyatavadis. And that we need to find out why. I will read and then let you know.
Okay.
What is this? Okay, yeah, I am Bhavaha. Deepadhyaloke ghatadikam chakshusha pasyatameva satam akasmat deepanashe tadeva ghatadikam tvacha sprashatam anupadam chakshusha drishtameva ghatam hastena sprashami ityanubhavaha sarvesham api bhavati. So he says that suppose you are going in a room and you saw a ghata or a pot in a room, and there was a light, and the light was on, and you go near, suddenly the light went off, electricity cut off or something. Then you still go near and touch the pot. So what you saw using the light before, you went near and touched. So this experience is very common. Anena chakshurindriyatva चक्षुरिंद्रिय त्वगिंद्रियोः उभयोरपि गोचरः कश्चन पदार्थः अनुभवेन सिद्धः अंगीकार्यः. We have to accept an object, padartha, which is cognizable through two senses, the eyes and sense of touch, skin. So you have to accept that that is the same object which is recognizable, recognizable by two senses. Chakshurindriyam ki rupam granhati. Eyes understand the form. Natu sparsham. It doesn't understand touch. Tvagindriyam he sparsham granhati. Skin only knows the touch. Natu rupam. It does not understand color. Drishtameva sprashami iti pratyabhijna rupaha prateyastu ubhayendriya grahyam kinchidasti iti bodhayati. When two independent senses are confirming that I saw something and I touched the same thing, if you got that idea, then there is an object which is different from all these, which is cognizable by two senses. Rupam va, sparsho va, na ubhayendriya grahyaha, ataha rupa sparshayoha ashraya bhutaha kaschidasti, kaschid atiriktaha padartaha indriya dvaya grahyaha angikaraniyaha. The rupam are the color, sparsha are the touch. They can't be cognized by either of the indriyas. They have to be cognized by a particular indriya only. Ataha rupa sparshayoha ashraya bhutaha. So the color and touch belongs to a particular object which is different. That is the pot, ghata, and that has to be accepted. Sayeva dravyam iti uchyate. That is what we call as dravya. Atascha indriya dvayagrahyam dravyam rupam sparshascha iti ekaika indriya grahyaha gunaha iti dravya adravya vibhagaha durapanhavaha. Atascha. So the object which is cognized by two senses, which is eyes, form and touch. So it has basically confirms that the object has different gunas or characteristics, which is cognized by two different senses. Hence, we have this definition of dravya adravya vibhagaha. That is the separation between dravya and adravya, what we have already done earlier. We did it right. Tattvam, dravyam, adravyam. So this particular thing is logically and as far as our life experience is concerned, correct. It cannot be attacked by these Buddhists. That's what Sri Vedanta said. Okay. Nanu vastunam sarveshamapi kshanikatvat aloke drishtaha padartaha anyaha andhakare sprishtascha padartaha eva anyaha eva. This now we are going to the second sentence. Let's see where we are. Hold on a second. In the first word they say ekartha pratyabhijna bhavati dridhatara darshana sparshanabhyam. Dridhatara means here why? You know the cognition is real. That means after some time it will not go away like a experience of a rope, experience of a snake in the rope. After some time you know that it is not a snake, and then it becomes clear. But here in the question of the understanding of a pot or the experience of a pot, that experience continues. You can seize the pot, touch it again. It doesn't change. Again, after 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours later, you see the pot, you touch it again. You have the consistent experience. So you know that is true. Sanghatadehi ayogat Sanghatadehi ayogat avagamayati sa vastu rupadi tonyat. there is no mix-up of the one sense to the other. The eye, the cognition through eyes and cognition through touch don't mix with each other. Hence, the object which has these gunas is different from the gunas. So the object is different from the color and touch, and they are attributes. So we finished till there. The second part of the verse is this: Ekasmin duratadehe avishada vishada pratyabhijnadi tadvat. This is what we are going to study. Okay, here. Nanu vastunam sarveshamopi kshanikatvat aloke drishtah padartah anyaha अंधकारे स्पृष्टस्य पदार्थः अन्ये एव इति दृष्टमेव स्पृशामि इति प्रत्यभिज्ञा भ्रान्तिरेव इति तेन न कस्यचित् वस्तुनः सिद्धिः संभवति इति चेत् तत्र उक्तं दृढतरा. 1 second. Okay, yeah. This is what is the dridhatara means. The dridhatara is still being explained here. One part of Buddhism, see, Kshanikavada of Buddhism is pretty, it is consistent among different Buddhist schools. Kshanika means objects are born every second and they die every second. They won't even say second, every moment. So every moment, object is born, object dies. Again, it creates the new object, and so it flows from the previous moment to the next moment. So there is nothing real. Everything is momentary. So they take this very seriously. So what they argue is, so when the light was on in the room, you saw a pot. Since that pot is destroyed and a new pot has come there because everything is momentary, so there is no point in saying that you touched the pot which you saw, because you saw a different pot which was destroyed, and you touched a different pot which is different. So this drishtameva sprishami, you touched what you saw earlier is only an illusion you are seeing. See, this is a similar thing. What they are saying is, think about a film. You're seeing a movie. In the olden days, you had a film reel, right? And it was moving. So in that, you see they're all still pictures which are moving. Okay, let's not get to that analogy because it's a little complex. We'll just go with this analogy. This time is okay, so why was the word dridhatara is used? Means this is always found to be true. So this illusion that what I saw is what I touched, and that is all momentary and all, it doesn't work. That's what Sri Vedanteshka says. In practice, you cannot create a theory which defies reality, which is experienced consistently over and over and over again. Dridhatara ekasya jnanasya bhrantitvam hi anantarakale badhaka pratyaya darshanena vaktavyam yatha shuktim drishtva rajatam iti bhranto jatayam anantaram nedam rajatam iti badhaka pratyaya drishyate. So at a particular point, you can say that you're looking at the silver shell here. Shell here. You can assume for a moment that this is silver. But once you go further, think about it, and you touch, break it up or something like that, then you will figure out and say that, oh, this is not silver, it's just a shell. Similarly, So we are not seeing that in the case of the pot. You saw the pot and you touched the pot, and that is continuously happening whenever you do it. Naiva matra anantara kale kadachit kasyachit drashtameva maya nasprishyate iti badhaka pratyo drishyate. Nobody has come and told us that I saw something else and I touched something else. Ataha sa pratitihi dritara apalapitur ashakya nabrantihi. Hence, that experience is unshakable. It is not an illusion. Anantara kale badhaka pratyaya abhavepi pratitehe brantitve gatadinam api mithyatvam syat. One second. Anantara kale badhaka pratyaya abhavepi pratitehe brantitve gatadinamapi mithyatvam syat. So what he is saying is, even though you don't have anything which defies that experience of I saw a pot and I touched, then you have to think that the ghata itself is mithya, that the object itself is unreal. Vaibhashika Sautrantiko Jagat Satyavadino. But these Vaibhashika and Sautrantika schools don't say that this world is illusory. Ataha na ishtapati sambhavaha. So you have not achieved what you want to prove, that you are not touching what you saw. Nacha badhaka pratyaya abhavepi karana dosha vashat jatam jnanam bhrantireva bhavati yatha kamila dosha vashat pitaha shankaha iti jnana janana antaram shankaha na pitaha iti badhaka jnanasya nahi sambhavaha tadvadatrapi syad iti chete nahyatra tatra dosha vashadidam drashtameva sprishami iti jnanam jnatam. See, there is another logic they are using. Apparently there is some jaundice, yellow fever or jaundice, they say. Because of jaundice, the eye, they say, they see white as if it is yellow. So the white looking shell, pitaha shanka, but they see as a yellow shanka. Pita vastra means, yellow, right? Yellow cloth. Like that, they see an yellow shanka. And after that Kamila dosha or the jaundice is cured, then you see that no, Shankhana Pitaha, the conch is not really yellow, it is actually white. So the Badhaka Jnanasya nahi, because of the error in cognition, the yellowness was perceived because of a problem due to health problem of the person seeing. Tadvadatrapi syaditi. We can say, let it be like that here. That is, it's illusion, and there is error of the senses is causing all this cognitions. Really speaking, the objects don't exist, but eyes and other things are creating this problem because there's some error in cognition. Nahi atra tata dosha vashadidam drashtameva sprishami iti jnanam jnatam. We have not come across any examples that only because of the problem in the eye we are seeing objects. And problem and drashtameva sprishami, that is our understanding that what I saw I touch is actually due to some dosha or problem, is never perceived by us. Tatha kasyapi tadapi tatha anubhava abhavat. So nobody has come and told us such an experience, that there is a problem in our eyes or sense of touch or something, and that is why we are feeling all those things. Atascha karana dosha badhaka pratyayoho abhavat iyam pratyavijnana bhrantiridam bhrantihi bhrantiriti idamapi dridhatara iti anena uktam. So this view that of substance and attribute or different is very clear and well supported by logic and experience, and it is unshakable, Dridhatara. यद्यपि पीतः शङ्कः इति ब्रह्मस्थले शङ्को न पीतः इति बाधकज्ञानं पूर्वमेव वर्तते, अथापि दोषवशादेव पीतः शङ्कः इति प्रत्ययो भवति। अत एव किल प्रतिबद्ध ज्ञानं दोषविशेषाजन्यमिच्छन्ति विपश्चितः। अत एव एकश्चन्द्रः इति बाधक निश्चये सत्यपि अवष्टम्भादि दोषेण द्वौ चन्द्रौ इति प्रत्यक्षं वर्णयन्ति। अतो बाधक प्रत्यय अभावेपि कारणदोषस्यापि अत्र अभावात् लौकिक बुद्धयः न भ्रमाः, ननु च प्रत्ययः सर्वोऽपि मिथ्या प्रत्ययत्वात् स्वप्न प्रत्ययवत् इत्यादि अनुमानानि ते अवतारयन्त्येव किल। जानामि बृहस्पते, परिशीलयामः सर्वं तत्तत् प्रकरणे प्रत्यभिज्ञा प्रामाण्यम उत्तरत्र विस्तरेण श्लोकः 26 स्थापयिष्यते. What this says is, see, before we know that a conch is yellow, we already have an idea before that conch is not yellow. So because of the dosha or a problem or any discrepancy, we got the idea that conch is yellow. Similarly, atayeva ekashchandraha iti badhaka nishchaye satyapि, we know very clearly that there is only one moon. Angulya avasthambadi doshena, if you
and the same drishtantam is available in Sribhashyam also. The Chandra, அதாவது கை விரல்ல வச்சு ஃபிங்கர் இங்க கண்ணு பக்கத்துல வச்சுட்டு இப்படி அழித்துட்டு பார்த்தா you will see two moons.
ஆமா.
So இது வந்து அந்த அந்த பொருள்ல இருக்கக்கூடிய அந்த சந்திரன்ல இருக்கக்கூடிய தன்மையை இவனுக்கு கிரகிக்கக்கூடிய அந்த கிரகிக்கக்கூடிய தன்மை வந்து இவனுடைய கண்ணுல இருக்கிற தோஷத்தினால வருது.
ஆமா.
அந்த ஆப்ஜெக்ட் தோஷம் இல்ல.
ஆப்ஜெக்ட் தோஷம் இல்ல. ஆமா.
இவனுடைய இந்திரியங்கள்னால கிரகிக்கக்கூடிய அந்த வஸ்துவை அந்த விஷயீகரிக்கிறான் இல்லையா, அந்த தன்மையானது இவனுடைய அதுவே கொஞ்ச நேரம் கழிச்சு அவன் அந்த கண்ணை எடுத்துட்டு பார்த்தான்னா ஒரே சிங்கிள் மூன் தான் தெரியும்.
ஆமா ஆமா. அததான்
அந்த உதாரணத்தை தான் இங்கேயும் சுவாமி இதை எடுத்திருக்காரு. ஸ்ரீபாஷ்யம் ஆல்சோ மேபி
ஸ்ரீபாஷ்யத்துல வரும். ஆமா, இந்த ஸ்ரீபாஷ்யத்திலையும் வருது. இந்த பகவத்கீதையில நத்வேவாஹம் ஜாதுநாசம் நத்வம் நெய்மே ஜனாதிபாஹ நச்சைவ நபவிஷ்யாமஹ சர்வே வயமதः பரம் என்ற செகண்ட் சாப்டர் 12 ஸ்லோகாலையும் ராமானுஜ பாஷ்யத்தை டீடைலா வருது.
இங்க வைபாஷிக நிரசனம் பண்றச்ச நாம சொல்ற நம்மளுடைய சித்தாந்தத்து பிரகாரம் எல்லாமே வஸ்துவினுடைய தன்மைகள் எல்லாமே சத்தியம், எதுவும் இல்லூஷன் கிடையாது. அதாவது அவர் வந்து ஒரு தூரக்கேந்து ஒரு பொருளை பார்க்கச்ச அது வந்து மஞ்சளா தெரியாது, கிட்டக்க போய் பார்த்தாக்கா அது வேற மாதிரி தெரியும். இவன் எங்கேருந்து எப்படி பாக்குறானோ அதுக்கு தகுந்த மாதிரி தான் பொருள் தெரியுது, பொருளினோட தோஷம் இல்லை.
ஆமா ஆமா.
அது பிரத்யபிக்ஞாங்கிறது ஏற்கனவே ப்ரீ காக்னிட் பண்ணியிருக்கிறது. ஏற்கனவே I have seen the Devadattan there in the festival. The same that the Devadattan is available now here. The same ஆகிருதியோட குண்டலம் போட்டுட்டு குள்ளமா சகப்பா அந்த மாதிரி தன்மைகளோட கூடிய அந்த தேவதத்தனை I am seeing him here. So இவன் தேவதத்தன்கிறது என்னால எப்ப அறியப்படுகிறதுனா ஏற்கனவே நான் பார்த்திருந்தாதான் அறியப்படும். ஒரு கௌஹுன்னு சொல்றச்ச அந்த கோவுக்கு உண்டான தன்மை வந்து இந்த சாஸ்தா, அந்த திமிழ், இந்த இதெல்லாம் இருக்கு இல்லையா, கீழே சதை தொங்குறது இல்லையா கழுத்துங்கிட்ட, அது அதை ஏற்கனவே பார்த்திருந்தாதான் இந்த கௌங்கிறத நம்மால காக்னைஸ் பண்ண முடியும் செகண்ட் டைம் பார்க்கச்ச. ஏன்னா இந்த பிரத்யபிரக்யாங்கிற வார்த்தை ரொம்ப ரொம்ப அது வந்து திருடீகரம் பண்றதுக்கு காரணம் இந்த சக்ஷுந்திரமும் அந்த பரிசம் அப்புறம் சக்ஷுந்திரம் ரெண்டுத்தினாலையும் கூடிய ரெண்டு குணத்தையும் சைமல்டேனியஸா அது கிரகிக்கிறது பார்க்கச்ச. அதனுடைய ஒரு பொருளை நாம கிரகிக்கச்ச அதனுடைய சம்காரம்னு பேரு. ஆமா, சம்காரம். அதனுடைய ஒரு வார்த்தை உண்டு, சம்ஸ்காரம். அந்த கம்ப்ளீட் சம்ஸ்காரத்தை தான் நம்ம கிரகிச்சு மனசுக்குள்ள வச்சுக்கிறோம். அடுத்த தடவை பார்க்க ஏற்கனவே இது பார்த்த இது ஞாபகம் வருது, அதனால அதுதான் இது அப்படிங்கிறத நம்மால உணர முடியுது. இந்த வைபாஷிகனோட இதுல வந்து இவர் என்ன சொல்றாருன்னா, இங்க தமிழ்ல அவர் நவல்பாக்கம் சுவாமி சொல்றது வந்து, ஒரு பொருளை தூரத்தில் முதலில் பார்த்தால் தெளிவில்லாத ஞானம் வரும், பின் வேறொரு சமயம் சமீபத்தில் தெளிவாக தெரியும், அப்போது தெளிவில்லாத தெரிந்த பொருளே இப்போது தெளிவாக தெரிகிறது என்ற பிரத்யபிஞானமும் வரும். இதை விளக்க வேண்டும். தெளிவின்மை என்றால் சில அம்சங்களை அறியாமல் வேறு சில தன்மைகளுடன் கூடியதாகவே பொருளை அறிதல் ஆகும். தெளிவாக அறிவதாவது பல தன்மைகளுடன் கூடிய பொருளை அறிதல். எனவே பொருளாகிய திரவியத்தையும் அதன் தன்மைகளாகிற அத்திரவியத்தையும் இட்டே இதை விளக்க முடியும். எனவே இது போன்ற பிரத்யபிஞானங்களும் அவர் மதத்தில் பொருந்தாதவையே. மேலும் சம்சயம், தவறான அறிவு முதலியவைகளை அவர் மதத்தில், அதாவது இந்த வைபாஷிக பௌத்த மதத்தை பத்தி சொல்றாருங்க, அவர் மதத்தில் சரியாக விளக்க முடியாது.
See, in the Vaibhashika Yogacara Matas, see, that is not acceptable. I saw, when Devadatta was young, I saw him, right? And after 30 years, I see him, oh, the same Devadatta is here. Abdina, they don't agree with it. What they say is, this Devadatta, what you're seeing today, is completely changed. Look at all his body. His body is changed. And his mind, everything is changed. So what you saw long time back is not this Devadatta. Avala apdina argue pandra avala. So that but we stick to some things. What we this will become even more clear as we go further. Yeah. Atha badaka pratyaya abhavapi abhavepi karanadoshyasyapi atra abhavat laukika buddhayah na brahmaha. See, because we don't see any problems like the fingers pushing the eye to one corner and to make a object appear too, all this kind of the doshas are not there in our ordinary experience. So these ordinary experience are not Brahma. Brahma means illusion. They are not illusory. Nanuja pratyaha sarvepi mithya pratyayatvat swapna pratyayavate. This is a different dialogue chosen by Sri Vedanteshikar. Pratyaya sarvopi mithya abdina, all experiences are illusory. Why? Pratyayatvat. Because they are experiences. Swapna pratyayavate, like the illusory experiences in a dream. So this is a view of some philosophers. It could be probably Advaita philosophers, but there are different kinds of Advaita philosophers. Not everybody agree with the same kind of view. But this one will be dealt with later on. Ityadi anumanani te avatarayanti eva kila. Those people are also coming up with these ideas that all experiences are unreal anyway. Janami Brahaspate, hey Brahaspati, I also know about it. Parishilayama sarvam tatat prakarane. Let us analyze it when we get to that particular context in the shloka 26th. Pratyabhijna pramanyam uttaratra vistarena. And the Pratyabhijna, the pramanam, the testimony of that whole experience, otherwise we will establish later. Nanu रूपस्य स्पर्शस्य वा प्रत्येकम् एकैक इन्द्रियग्राह्यत्वेपि उभयोः मेलनदशायां द्वयमपि द्वि इन्द्रियग्राह्यं भवतु. இது அவருடைய இது ஒருமே ஒரு this is just a subroutine of a thought process. What if once the eyesight and the touch can mix together to make this dvi indriyagrahyam, an object being cognized by two indriyas, where eyesight and touch mixes together. What is the another analogy given is bhavatu pratyekam asataha rakta rupa visheshasya. See, they say they do this trick, right? They mix shunnamb. I don't know what exactly shunnamb is in English. When they add the shunnamb, it becomes red, right? When you add the shunnamb to some white colored thing, it becomes red. Haridra churnam. Haridra churnam is, I think, yellow. When you mix some calcium stuff is there, right? If you mix it with the yellow powder, it becomes red. So the redness was not there before, but it came because of the mixture. Sanghatadehi ayogatiti ayam bhavaha mishrane tetakorta. What do you mean when you say the sight and the touch is mixing with each other? What do you mean? Tattu vastu stairyavada eva sambhavet vastunam kshanikatve hi pratyekam stitameva vastu anyat milita kale stitameva anyat atah tasya mishranavastha varnitum shakya nacha vastunam kshanikatvepi avayava atiriktam avayavinam anangi kurvatam सर्वेषां पूर्वक्षणे प्रत्येकता अनन्तरक्षणे संघात भावः वर्तते एव इत्यवस्थाभेदः वर्तते एव इति चेत् क्षणिकवादे हि संघात भावोऽपि दुरुपपादः. See, what is mixing up in the Kshanikavada is a question. Because the previous moment is gone. The object in the previous moment is gone. And in the next moment, everything is new. Vastunam kshanikatvepi avayava atiriktam avayavinam anangi kurvatam. They don't agree with an object which is different from the parts. सर्वेषां पूर्वक्षणे प्रत्येकता अनन्तरक्षणे संघातभावः वर्तते एव इत्यवस्थाभेदः वर्तते एव इति चेत् क्षणिकवादे हि संघातभावोऽपि दुरुपपादः. In Kshanikavada, you cannot mix saying that the eyesight and the touch will come together. They have to keep extremely separate in the Kshanikavada. So you cannot mix. Eyesight cannot understand touch. And touch cannot understand form. Ekakala avachedena ekadesha avachedana va melanam hi sanghataha. That which is given as something which happens in the same time, or it happens in the same space, same place, that is sanghataha, that is mixture. Kalastu atiriktaha tanmate nastyeva. They don't believe in a kala at all in Buddhism. Anybody, what do Buddhists believe in?
Nothing.
Anybody?
Only the gunas, nothing, sure, nothing. Sunya.
No. They believe in four, right?
Yeah. Gunas, they believe in the gunas.
Only four. Rupa, rasa, gandha, sparsha, that's all. they believe. And they don't believe in Akasha, right? So Prithvi, Apu, Tejo, Vayu only, not Akasha. And Kala doesn't mean anything for them. Tanmate nastyeva, ella kshanikam, everything is kshanikam. Deshaha yadi atiriktaha tarhi sa eva dravyaha padavachaha iti siddhyati ataha tanmate dvayamapi asambhavi etat sarvam sanghatadehe ayogatityanena suchyate. See, here it is complex. Complex because they are not sitting quiet. There are a lot of theories within Buddhism. We have to go much more deeper to understand exactly what this shloka is telling us. There are about 6-7 other theories of Buddhism. And what Sri Vedanta is saying that all these views are unsound, incorrect. That's what Sanghatadehe Ayogat. Sanghata is mixing. And there's other things you may come up with. Other things you guys have come up with. All these things do not prove your point. It only proves our point that there is difference between dharma and dharmi. The dravya and adravya are different from each other. That is what is the correct one. What we do is today, I don't have too much time because I just came out of fever. Even now I'm not well. So that is why my mind is not working extremely well today. See, we can continue tomorrow, and I will take up this whole paragraph again, or we'll just recap this particular portion. And I will also do some research on the other systems of indicated in this verse. Any questions till now?
I had one question. Namaste, sir. This is Prashant here. The same question which I asked Alwar Samin during Tattvamukta Kalapa. So, whether this substance and attribute, this concept, is it possible to apply it to Jiva and Jada as attributes of Brahman? That was actually that came from the 26th page, the discussion which is present in SMS Chari's book.
Yeah. See, this is the fundamental view of Vishishtadvaita. If you ask how can you give me an example of distinct objects being the attributes of a different object, right? And which is eternally true, and aprutak siddha, which is inseparable. What is the example? We don't have an example like that. Do we have an example? Anybody can they answer? That means
Dharma Bhuta Jnanam?
see, Dharmabhuta.
Dharma Jnanam is innate nature, though. Yeah.
See, the Dharmabhuta Jnanam is different from Dharmic Jnanam, right? And it is eternally connected, right? See, the problem is Dharmabhuta Jnana is not accepted by other systems of thought, like even Dvaita or Advaita. They don't accept this Dharmabhuta Jnana, right? So that example is not very. They say, oh, this is you're just breaking it up as Dharmic Jnanam and Dharmabhuta Jnanam as two separate entities. They're actually the same. You say they're aprutak siddha, they're always connected to each other. Actually, they're same. You're just separating it out mentally. They may say, that is the Advaitins and Dvaitins say. So, do we have an example where Jiva and Jada, rocks, stones, of trees and all these things, and human beings, animals, that being an attribute of a totally different thing called Parabrahman? Do we have an example similar to that? We don't have. So that is not logically determinable. That we determine through the Shastras only. The Sharira Shariri Bhava and substance attribute, what do you call, substance attribute relationship between Brahman and Brahman's attributes, Vishesha, is only through Shastra. It is not determinable through any. That is why Lord, our Acharya Ramanuja.org says, Brahman is Sakala Itara Vilakshana. It is different from all other things. So we don't have examples. Any other question? hope this class was useful.
Oh,
Yes.
quite useful. Very, very, very useful. Thank you.
சுவாமி எட்டாவது ஸ்லோகத்துக்கு ஆழ்வார் சுவாமி சாதிச்சிட்டாருன்னா அப்புறம் நமக்கு கொஞ்சம் புரிஞ்சுக்கிறது ஈஸியா இருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். இந்த ஆர்குமெண்ட்ஸ் எல்லாம் அவர் இன்னும் வரல, 8க்கு வரல, 7ல தான் நிற்கிறார் அவர்.
Yeah, see, இது வந்து பார்க்கலாம். Definitely we'll see what happens. So இதெல்லாம் நம்ம வந்து we can, to whatever extent we understand, we'll just go and keep on going. That's all. Ready, and then I'll stop sharing. Any other questions?
Thank you. Please do take care. Thank you.
Okay.
Take care.